All right, 340 y'all. Hello everyone and welcome back to Before the Four. It's digital host A.J. Wuest here. Happy to see y'all this fine Thursday afternoon. I did not do a Before the Four yesterday as I was in the middle of an interview at that time. But it is so great to be back today welcoming you all to Before the Four. Of course, I say it every day wherever you're watching Before the Four this afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your Thursday afternoon here. Now, I say let's go through some of the day's top news stories, and first, let's begin in Decatur, where last night we learned of an officer-involved shooting on 11th Avenue Southwest and 1st Street. Now, Chief Tory Mack says it all started when an officer tried to pull over the suspect for a traffic violation, but that suspect got out of his car and brandished what appeared to be a gun. That's when the officer fired, striking the suspect once. Chief Mack says he believes a total of 3 shots were fired by the officer. Now, that suspect's shot was taken to the hospital where he is expected to survive. He is still recovering in the hospital at this time. And 48's Callie Neese today is working to learn more about last night's shooting. She'll have all the latest coming up in our evening newscasts. But now let's talk about the weather as we head into the tail end of the work week. Let's turn over to 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis for the latest. Brad?
Good Thursday afternoon, almost through the work week. Boy, next week, rain chances increase, especially late in the week. We may have some bouts of rain at some point Tuesday and Wednesday, but I think Thursday into Friday may be our best chance for rain. We'll be talking more about that coming up on WFF 48 News at 4, 5, then again at 6. New guidance coming in by 10 o'clock tonight. No rain out there right now. No rain expected. Just a brief shower in the morning, I think, on Sunday. High thin clouds out there. Should be a beautiful sunset. And then right after that, we've got the space station flyover tonight at 5:20. It's a 7-minute flyover. It is going to be almost overhead at 88 degrees. So get out and see that. The only issue may be the high clouds, maybe a little thicker in other areas. That's the only issue I see with that. Temperatures this afternoon, low 70s. It has been a very, very nice Thursday. Not much wind at all. In fact, we keep a calm wind overnight. I think we'll see patchy fog again on area rivers and lakes. That should be it. They were very confined to that earlier this morning. Here's that 3-day forecast. 76 Friday, 77 Saturday, and 70 Sunday. Again, a slight chance of rain early Sunday. Now, late Monday night into Tuesday, as that boundary lifts back to the north, we could see a few showers. That shouldn't be very long at all. More on your forecast coming up at 4.
And I see Donna Oliver is on. Dio from PC. How is it going out there in Phil Campbell this afternoon, Donna? Great to see you on, and I hope you're having a great day. Also, you all know the drill. Stay tuned to 48 First Alert Weather Extra. That's tonight at 9:30. I see it every day. 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis. He'll be back here in the streaming center, and he'll have all the latest that he's seeing on the radar as we move closer to the weekend. So you're just not going to want to miss it. First Alert Weather Extra. And feel free to leave a comment. Brad will shout you out. Any questions, thoughts, comments you might have, he'll shout you out and he'll work to find that answer for you. So just not going to want to miss it. First Alert Weather Extra. But now, last night, the federal government finally reopened after 43 days of being shut down. Now, it all happened after the House passed the spending bill and President Trump signed it. John Decker with Gray Television tells us what happens now in Washington.
It was just a handful of Senate Democrats who broke ranks that led to the end of the 40-day federal government shutdown, and President Trump in the Oval Office expressed his gratitude to them for their help in reopening the government.
I want to also thank the 8 Senate Democrats who finally did the right thing in voting to end this craziness, this madness.
As part of the deal that reopened the government, Senate Majority Leader John Thune committed to having a vote in the Senate on December 16th on whether to extend expiring subsidies for insurance premiums purchased under the Affordable Care Act.
It's a disaster, and I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare.
The president has not offered details on how Americans can purchase better and cheaper health insurance. More than 20 million Americans get their health insurance through the Affordable Care Act, and without those federal subsidies, insurance premiums will skyrocket. While congressional Democrats appear united in pushing for a subsidy extension, there is some division among Republicans. While most GOP lawmakers in Congress oppose virtually all elements of Obamacare, there are some GOP moderates that are urging their leaders to extend the subsidies. Millions of their own constituents will face higher health care costs if those subsidies are not extended. For Local News Live at the White House, I'm John Decker.
And now yesterday in the U.S., it will forever be known as the day the penny died. Now, you know those little copper coins that equal up to 1 cent in U.S. currency, as we'll no longer be minting them. Yesterday, 48's Faith Delp spoke with penny collectors and business leaders here in Huntsville all about yesterday's end of production. Let's take a look.
Jack Burwell collected his first penny when he was 9 years old, and he fell in love with the thrill of the search.
A lot of happiness come from filling the little holes in the set.
He values a historical penny, but he's not jumping over hurdles for a 2025 penny. He told me he agrees with the end of penny production if it can save the government millions. Right now, the White House says it is costing the government more to produce a penny than the value of the coin.
The pace of change is faster now than it was, 100 years ago. Things are going to change, and if the government can save some money, we need to do it. We'll do okay with the nickels.
I spoke to a local business owner who finds change to be a hassle in her wallet, and her customers tend to be on the same page. Kimberly Walker founded Walker's Market almost 10 years ago. She has customers constantly tell her, keep the penny, or I don't want the penny, and she doesn't blame them.
I mean, I like pennies, but I don't really want a bunch of pennies in my wallet either. All the years of me being in business, a lot of people just say, I don't want my penny. So it's sad and good all at the same time. I do think it's sad that we're moving into a direction where we're getting rid of the sweet little penny, but that is what it is.
Now she plans to round to the nearest nickel when need be. The U.S. expects to save about $56 million a year now without penny production. Reporting in Huntsville, Faith Delp, 48 News, on your side.
And if you get enough of those pennies, they sure do add up, no doubt about it. I think I'm going to have to start collecting pennies now that we're no longer minting them, because they're rare now. Pennies, they are rare. But with that, we're going to take a quick break, but coming up, construction happening in the heart of Fort Payne, and a family still recovering after losing everything in a house fire out in Trinity. It's all ahead. We'll go through it all in 1 minute. All right, break time is over, y'all. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Before the Four. Now moving out to Fort Payne, where city leaders are hard at work paving sidewalks in downtown to make it easier for everyone
Fort Payne Mayor Brian Bain tells me that the newly paved sidewalks make his city more ADA accessible and improves walkability into these businesses. Today, city officials, state leaders, and local business owners gathered outside the DeKalb County Theater in downtown Fort Payne to celebrate the makeover to downtown's sidewalks and roads. The work started in the fall of 2024 and just wrapped up. Bain tells me that he heard one resident's testimony that made it all worth the wait.
There's an individual has been in a wheelchair all of her life. And she made the statement, she said, I finally will be able to go downtown, Fort Payne in my hometown, and be able to get around. Just hearing that and knowing that excitement makes it all worth it.
The mayor added that they have recently been approved for another grant to continue the sidewalk project westbound toward the police station. Reporting in Fort Payne, Will Eldridge, 48 on your side.
Now moving out to Trinity with an absolutely devastating story after a family of 9 lost everything in a house fire over the weekend. 48 Sarah Grace Kennedy spoke with that family and has their story.
And we thought we got the fire put out that night.
Marissa Kitchens and her family left their home to stay in a hotel for the night to escape the smell from the first fire.
After they had put the fire out, I told the kids, I said, just get y'all an outfit of clothes. I said, we'll go to the hotel, take a bath. I said, then tomorrow we'll come back and clean up everything. And to come back to that, it was devastating.
The family received a call from a neighbor in the middle of the night telling them that their house was in flames. Kitchens tells me that she is grateful that the family was not inside the home when the fire rekindled.
I thank God looking at all of them, because 2 of my kids, they was wanting to stay. And I was like, no, y'all cannot stay.
Kitchens and her family lost everything in that fire. Fortunately, she was able to salvage some pictures and blankets that her grandmother made for her when she was a baby.
It ain't much, but it is what it is. I wouldn't take nothing for that picture.
They were even able to find their children's baby album after we spoke. Jen says that they're not sure what is next for them.
We didn't have insurance here. As of right now, we're just staying in the hotel and just trying to find somewhere to go.
Kitchens tells me that although the family feels really lost right now, they have hope that brighter days are ahead.
I keep telling them, like, it's something to come along for us. God's got a way for us. He shut one door, he's going to open up another one for us.
Such a heartbreaking story there, and my heart definitely goes out to that family. But now let's talk about the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. A chemical spill at a soybean oil plant in Decatur. We'll have all those details coming up. The latest on the manslaughter trial of a Red Bay woman. 48's Aria Pons has been covering that trial all week. And finally, the latest on SNAP benefits here in the state of Alabama. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. And y'all know what time it is now. It is, of course, our time for Facebook fun, how we like to end before the 4 every single day. Our 48 Facebook question today was, have you started Christmas shopping yet? And I am the world's worst at procrastinating, at waiting for the very last minute to start Christmas shopping. Most years, my Christmas shopping starts on New Year's Eve, honestly, and it's not even like early in the day on New Year's Eve. It's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night on New Year's Eve. I said last year I was going to start Christmas shopping early, but yeah, that didn't happen. But I think this is going to be the year I do it. I'm going to start Christmas shopping. Hopefully I can have it all done by the end of November. That is definitely my goal for this year. I'm sick of waiting for the last minute, but what I want to know is what you all had to say. Have you started your Christmas shopping yet? And let's see what you all had to say. Let's see. Morgan said yes. So Morgan's started hers. Jessica, I have bought 1 out of probably 16 things I need to get. Hey, you're a 16th of the way there. You are getting there, and you're honestly better than I am right now. Well done. Jana said almost done. So Jana has got most of her Christmas shopping done. Beverly said no, she has not started her Christmas shopping yet, but neither have I, so cannot blame you there, Beverly. Judy said done and everything wrapped. Wow, I'm just trying to be more like Judy, honestly. Everything's already wrapped. That is absolutely insane. Before Thanksgiving, too. Angela said, been looking, not bought anything yet. Well, you always have to start somewhere, so nothing wrong with that. And then Morgan, as we saw earlier, she always starts early, and that is the opposite of what I do. I always start on Christmas Eve. So I'm just trying to be more like Morgan and, of course, like Judy, where everything is already wrapped. That is absolutely insane. Let's see, do we have any more comments on Before the 4 today? Looks like Donna Oliver, DO from PC, said she is loving the weather today, and yes, it feels so good out there. I wish I was outside right now, honestly. And then Joseph said, what are you doing this weekend? Well, Joseph, I am probably just going to chill out this weekend. I know the Georgia-Texas game is also happening this weekend, so I'll probably be watching that, maybe hang out with a couple of friends this weekend, but I've been busy the past couple weekends. Last weekend, I went up to Nashville to my alma mater, Belmont University, and watched them play a basketball game. So I've been busy the past few weekends, so hopefully this weekend I can take some time and chill out a little bit. But y'all, that is just about it for today's Before the 4. Thank you all for commenting on our 48 Facebook question. It always makes my day seeing y'all's comments and seeing everything you all have to say here across the Tennessee Valley. But y'all, that is just about it. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to Before the 4 this afternoon. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's evening newscast. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.